to order. It'd be a little distracting watching myself on TV. Okay. So I have an agenda here that Will shared with me, and I'm just going to kind of go through this. The first item that, and we did this some years ago, we've moved business from the audience up to the beginning of our meetings because we just felt that was a more appropriate spot. And Patricia, understand that you guys have any, you guys want to speak as well, or? Okay. So we'll go ahead and take a little bit of time and allow you to share.
I'm just here because I don't know exactly what's happening with the Urban Heights renewal. And I own a business on the Heights. I own Gorge Style Salon. I'm in the Cement Triangle, where 12th and 13th come together. It's like 13th and Belmont. I'm next to Kelly Smith, the CPA, and I'm across the street from the Columbia Gorge Vet Clinic. And it came to my attention a few months ago that there was talk about taking out my building and putting in a roundabout. And so I just wanted to come and find out what the plans are and be able to say my thoughts on the subject. Yeah, so I just need to gather more information because personally, I don't want my business to be taken out.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you own the building there? Or
I do not, but I have spoken to Audrey Fisher, who owns the building. And I know, like, I don't know, 18 years ago, they took out the two-way, they made 12th and 13th used to be two ways, not one ways. And she lost part of her property in order to put the road that goes down past where my building is at. And they actually tore down what used to be called the Tip Top Tavern, if anybody remembers that. And they rebuilt the building that I'm in now. So I just wanted to put in my 2 cents worth that, you know, for one, I don't want to lose my business that I've put my life savings into. This would affect 7 of my employees, 2 of which are single moms, not to mention Kelly Smith that's in the same building. And he's got, I don't know, 6 or 7 employees. So I just wanted to put that out there and make sure that I kind of know what's going on and be able to have a say in the matter. That's about it.
Well, Patricia, I'm glad you're here, and there's been no decisions made. I think there was a design that discussed some roundabouts in that area.
Well, I just wanted to find out what was going on, how much of a possibility is this? You know, if it does happen, I want to be notified. I know I've talked to some of the business owners, Columbia Gorge Vet Clinic and Kelly Smith just today, and they hadn't heard about it. And so, you know, I just actually found out because somebody saw it on Instagram, and I'm not on social media. So I just thought it would be important for me to come down and just find out what's going on.
I'm curious because I have a business on the other side of 13th, and I share Belmont, Union, 12th and 13th. What are your thoughts of that intersection for you personally and for your business?
Well, sorry, I hate talking. If I turn all red, just don't pay attention. Well, I noticed you guys took out some crosswalks that are right kind of what used to be the dry cleaners. Now he's got like a car stereo place and the gas station is there. What I have noticed is that is not working because people still cross the street. They still think there's a crosswalk there. And when the cars show up, and here's 13th, no, that'd be 12th. They are all looking to the right to see the oncoming traffic and not looking to the left where the people are crossing the street. And I've seen multiple accidents there because of that. In my opinion, I think it would be better to have a light and people can push the button so they can cross the street and the cars have to stop. I haven't noticed it so much on 13th, more of a problem on 12th.
How does it work for traffic? Because it's such an interesting, like cars getting in your parking lot and like, 'cause that's always, I don't know, I've just always thought it's like such an interesting piece of property. It's just kind of right in
Yeah.
the middle. And
Well, the reason that I started my business there was because there is a parking lot, and I didn't know if eventually there would be paid parking on the Heights. And so I wanted my customers to be able to just pull in and park. And I know for a lot of local people, they avoid coming downtown for that reason and trying to find parking and to pay. And I actually used to work downtown, and that was a big complaint of all my customers was, well, I don't, I got a parking ticket or whatever. So then I became a member of the Chamber of Commerce so that they could like write off so many tickets a month. But most locals don't want to come downtown for that reason. And part of the reason why I started my business there is because it is a busy intersection and there's a lot of flow of traffic, which is good for me and my business. I don't know if that answers your question.
I was just kind of curious about like the people driving into your parking lot and,
It is weird. I feel like they should have built that building to be facing Belmont, kind of like Columbia Gorge Vet Clinic face, instead they built, but it's because the Tip Top Tavern used to face that way. And so that's why they designed it that way. But my business does stay busy, and there are other businesses that will park on the street in front, and their employees, and they will park there all day long instead of the 2 hours that they're supposed to, that I've had complaints about.
So I appreciate you being here and speaking up. I'll just give you some real quick broad strokes. I know we have a full agenda. So I think I speak for everyone here. None of us were very big fans of losing the crosswalks up in the Heights, and that wasn't necessarily us. There's some other jurisdictions that are involved with Oregon Department of Transportation, and if the crosswalks don't have appropriate curb cuts, they couldn't mark them. State of Oregon considers any intersection a crosswalk, painted or not, but still it's what I'm glad you're speaking, because I think, again, I don't want to speak for all of us, but I think we look at those intersections at 12th and 13th and Union and Belmont, and the intersections at the other end of the hospital in Jackson Park as kind of our two big trouble areas and concerns. So thank you for being here. The other layers that are involved, we are an advisory council, so we're kind of the conduit from the people to the agency, to the city council. So there's a few layers involved. And the one thing I've learned being a part of this, nothing moves really quick. We're getting to a spot where we're getting some designs together from previous city meetings with the public. But well, this has been 10 years. 11, yeah, so it doesn't move very quick. So that we're 11 years in the making. So some of the things that we're presenting and sharing are things that were given to us from our other community events, like a fireball. And so it's not necessarily just 4 or 5 people up here saying, this is great, let's do this. No, we try to collect the voices of the public and what they want and what's feasible and practical. And then we present that to the layer above us, the agency, who then presents that to the city council.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's why I just felt
I'm
it
not
necessary
trying to
as a
be
business
offensive,
owner
but
just
I
to
know-
come and see.
but-
So you're asking me to speak, but I don't really know
So
exactly what's going
my
on.
opinion is you're talking to the right group,
Yeah,
because I feel like the agency or the city council would probably just direct you back to the advisory councils.
I have one question for you, Patricia. Are you aware of the open house tomorrow evening and Saturday midday in regards
I
to?
know about the National Guard, the Armory tomorrow between 5 and 9. I guess I just wish that there was a way to get this message, whether by mail or
Well, you'll have
because-
an opportunity to put your feedback at that, correct? Well,
That's correct. That's what it's for, is to get feedback on these 3 concepts.
yeah, because we got 3 concepts that have been feathered out by Mig and a few other input from this council, input from the public. So you'll have a chance to look at what we've got and then put input into going, it's a process.
We would like to continue to reach out to our fellow businesses on the Heights and get more people involved to come provide.
Yeah,
And learn about what the whole Heights or renewal process is about and how to stay up to date with it.
Mm.
So, yeah, that's hopefully, I hope you're able to make it tomorrow.
Is this an all-day thing where people just come and go?
Kind of.
Well,
I'm
what
five
what
to
are
nine
the times,
Friday and
Will?
10 to
It's
2 on
5 to 8 tomorrow evening?
5 to 9 tomorrow and 10 to 2 on Saturday.
Correct,
this
might
is
be for
all
the
at the
public,
Armory?
6 to 9.
So yeah,
tomorrow.
just come whenever you can between then, you can look at the plans and ask questions and. Yeah.
And invite your fellow businesses around you that you've had communications with to make sure they're aware of it, because we've tried putting the messages out and things like that.
And that is great input if you, you know, if preference is to, you know, receive something in the mail, you know.
Yeah, it's just
I
my,
have a local business on the Heights.
a lot of people that I've talked to had no idea. So I actually found out from a client of mine that happened to see it on Instagram,
Yeah.
or else I was like,
And it's
what?
great- And it's great to know about this event as well, so we appreciate that.
And I think all of us sitting at the table have a vested interest in the Heights as well, you know, Pine Street, Bakery, Volcanic, Bottle Shop,
Mm,
my place,
We're on
Marley's
C
Corner,
Street
Ace, you know, so we're all affected by this corridor as well, and that's kind of what led us to be involved
mm.
in participating. So, yeah, I would say join us tomorrow in some capacity. Well, there's a way people can sign up at the city website to be on the distribution list for urban renewal specific.
Correct, yes, you can, yeah, there you go to the Heights webpage on, so you go to the city's webpage, Urban Renewal Heights, all the project information, lots of historical lots of background documents, and also a way to sign up to make sure you always stay up to date. But we send out everything at least via email, if not also social media. I know our planning director went door to door over the past couple of days to businesses, whoever was around, maybe you weren't around when he was doing that. But a number of different ways on radio spots, things like that. So we've been trying to get the word out. But definitely everything is always via email if you sign up for our emails.
Okay, I'll let the people know that are around me, but they were not aware of it either, so,
It's difficult to get 100% for sure.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go to my picture of tonight's agenda. So I think, I'm turning it over to you and you're going to introduce me. Is this kind of the rest of the meeting?
Right, yeah, well, we have approval of minutes if you'd like. And then just and then we talk about the open house tomorrow.
Okay.
There isn't, you know, I might take the privilege just because I'm covering for Dustin to remind everyone that May 11th is our budget meeting, 6 p.m. Here. And that's when, you know, you're one half of the budget committee with the Urban Renewal Agency Board. So just a reminder that 6 p.m. May 11th right here. But no other additions or corrections.
Any changes or additions to the previous minutes? I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes as written. Second. Thank you. Okay, next time.
Great. Yeah, so Chair Trumbull and members of the committee, we have the big event tomorrow evening and then on Saturday. And so in your packet, you have some of the materials that will be at the open house, frequently asked questions that will be used. And we also have, for the bulk of tonight's item will be Alex Dupy and Nathan Plansky, our MIG consultants, to give you kind of a primer on what to get ready for the open house. So I will hand it over.
All right.
Thanks, Will. Well, we are looking forward to the event over the next 2 days. It's kind of culmination of sort of the last year plus work with you guys and work with the community. And hopefully, well, the plan for tonight is to walk through or kind of do a quick little primer on kind of, what the expectations and kind of how we'd like your support over the next 2 days. And then we can kind of walk through and answer any questions for the kind of graphic materials that are going to be on display for the public to review and provide comment on. And then we can kind of go over any questions that you have on the frequently asked questions. Maybe with that, I'll kind of turn it over to Alex to kind of do a quick kind of walkthrough about kind of the expectations.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Nathan. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in person for the first time in our project for the past 18 months or however long we've been working on this. So when we had spoken last time, we had talked about, really needing assistance from you to help facilitate and essentially be, project ambassadors for this project. And this will be an open house format. So we'll have a number of boards and other elements that we expect people will spend a lot of time at in certain locations, and in other places they'll look at and they'll just keep moving through. I think the key components and where this group really fits into that is to really help engage with community members. It includes residents and businesses like Patricia's to help explain some of the different options, where things are at, kind of some of the thought process behind those, but also I think really as a way to, just have a conversation about, change and streetscape within the Heights. There's a lot of information that will be provided at these open houses. And so I think the key piece is just to be able to answer or find somebody who can answer questions, as best we can. There's a key element with this as a project ambassador for part of this. You serve a role, actually 2 roles, one as the Urban Renewal Advisory Committee. You have that role within this meeting, but you also have a role as a guide. So all of us have probably favorites in terms of different alternatives, what we like, what we don't like. The important element as you're talking to folks and stepping it through is to help them kind of understand those changes, not necessarily where you want to go as a member of the URAC or as the community. So it's kind of like a neutral party tour guide is what we typically ask. And it doesn't mean that when we come to the end, there'll be a recommendation. It just means that what we're trying to do is help the community talk about all of these different things in a way that's both positive, but also, even in terms of what the options are. There will be a lot of discussion from businesses and community members about parking, about streetscape improvements, about pedestrian access. We heard just now about potential impacts to different alternatives. It's important to know that, as you know, none of these things have been decided. And so that's also a piece is we're really there to look for input so that when we come out of these meetings and out of the survey, that we have, good information to be able to provide that direction for the recommended alternative. So I think it's fairly straightforward. We're really just asking you to be there and to have a conversation and to help people kind of move through the area, but also if they have questions, if you can't answer them, grab one of the project team and we'll do our best to move that forward. And also, there'll be free food and drinks as well too. So we hope you'll stay for a while, and we also hope that folks from the community will be able to stay and have a good time too. So it's a great opportunity to reach out and talk to constituents. So with that, I want to just leave it open for any questions. If questions on role or what you feel like you need to be doing there. If there's any questions or concerns about that.
And maybe one other thing that I would add is we are going to have a written comment card available for people to provide written feedback. And as much as we can, we want to make sure people are, we're hearing from them, but they're also taking the time to kind of write that down and kind of, we can take that into kind of all the information that we're gathering.
Yeah, there'll be lots of different ways. We'll have stickies, we'll have voting, we'll have the comment card. So, there'll be lots of opportunities to be able to do that.
Nathan, is that something that we can pass out, like carry a stack in the pocket and say, here, that's a great comment. Can you put it on this so that we can all share it?
Yeah. So, for that, what we'll the way we're going to set this out is we'll have long strip maps that'll be on tables. And so we'll have sticky notes for people to be able to, if they have a comment on a specific intersection, for example, on an alternative, they can place those sticky notes. Sometimes people, are nervous about doing that. So as a tour guide, it's great for to say, hey, let's grab a sticky, let's write that comment down, and then let's place it where you think it's important. So we'll have all of that set up within the meeting room, and then the comment card will be something that they want to add additional or have kind of broader comments about the project. We'll have that bigger comment card for them to use. Sometimes the first mark on the map is the hardest, and so we need help getting people to make that mark.
I had a question about something I didn't see on the frequently asked question that I would love to be able to talk to people about, either if they ask or just to offer up this information. But I know that, even for myself, like looking at these, I'm like, oh, could this really work? It's hard to conceptualize with just looking at a picture even. And I know we've talked about possibility of doing some demonstration projects. And I just wondered where we were at with that, if there's anything that we can tell people that they're a possibility, that they, where do we stand on demonstration projects?
So the demonstration project and the opportunity for that is part of something that we include in the project scope. The idea was, at least when it was originally developed, the idea is let's kind of, if there's something that needs to be tested, to that verify something associated with an element of the preferred alternative. That's sort of the opportunity that we sought to be done. So I think, it's an opportunity that's out there, and there's not much more than that. I think as ideas come in, I think it's up to the project team and the Urban Renewal Advisory Committee and board to kind of talk through what that might look like.
So it's still a possibility, but
Yes.
Just so everybody knows, do you want to give a quick example of what a possible demonstration project like that might look like? Just so, for example, the Streets Alive event that was hosted here on the Heights. Previously, they just did a sample curb bump out as an example, just for the audience. So they just put out some cones basically to represent where an extended curb bump out might exist, and then they could observe how that functioned over the period of a set period of time, just for the audience.
Yeah, and one of the things that the concepts are very different in the way traffic moves through the Heights from today, and those require fairly significant investment at intersections. And so there are, it could be challenging, or there could be some limitations to really vet some kind of larger changes, but it's something that we can kind of work through and talk through. And, at some point it still is an ODOT facility, and I'm sure they'll need to be involved and approve any sort of short-term permit for a demonstration.
What are the presentation materials that are available for the public to take with them? Or is it just sticky notes and materials that are fixed at the Armory?
So yeah, we haven't planned for handouts to take home. That being said, the roll plots that Alex mentioned, they're going to be 3 feet tall by 16 feet long. We'll have four, and then a fifth one that's a little bit shorter. We do have Spanish versions of those as handouts that we've got 50 copies. So we're sort of expecting those will probably go home with folks. All of what we haven't posted the roll plots, the graphics to the website, but I think, making it available on the website is sort of the alternative to kind of sending people home with it.
I think the other piece with that too is we do have a live survey right now that's been been pushed through social media, and there'll be postcards and others at the open house. Those graphics are very much part of the survey as well too. And so people can access, a lot of those graphics through the survey if they want to provide additional specific input. But yeah, Nathan, I think we can post the graphics to the website post meeting if needed.
We did they are part of and probably buried a little bit, the last time we talked, or one of the recent times we talked, the evaluation summary that kind of looked at, how do these design concepts align with project goals. That memo went to the board last week, and so that's been posted to the website. So that's also available there, and the design concepts themselves are kind of part of that as an appendix, but just the sort of 5 pages that are roll plots for the public Friday and Saturday are not yet posted.
Justin, have we received any of the survey, the documents that you sent out, and then I forwarded that email that was going around up in the Heights? Have we received any of those back?
We have not. I haven't gotten none of those that went out. I did, after that email, did invite everyone to contact me. We've had a couple direct email contacts that I've shared with the team, but no one has gone through and did the full analog paper version and returned it.
Is that a possibility? Is that a 2-page little worksheet?
Yeah.
You think we can have a few of those at the
Yeah,
end?
they were drafted for really in response to some of the parking demands, but I don't see why we couldn't have a stack of there. If somebody wanted to fill some out. I expect people to leave comments, whether they follow that format. I think we're looking for them to be much more free range and tell me what you think and not be confined to a questionnaire. I want them to tell me whatever is on their mind, whatever is triggered. I mean, I could leave those, but I don't want to confine people's opinion to a fixed questionnaire. But we'd absolutely have them if you want to comment on them.
And that 2-page questionnaire was sort of just a recirculation of one that had been circulated last year.
We have received some comments through the website. I think some of it was in response to the email we had that were very specific about parking and questions around that. We've received some other responses today, and actually the past couple days that is more in support of the pedestrian and bike improvement. So we're definitely getting I think a cross section of opinions about the Heights and the streetscape. And I expect that the open house and this survey will have more of that. We're going to hear a lot about both of those kind of stances and where they are in terms of those potential changes to the street. But that's why we're here, and that's why we need your help, is to be able to make sure that people are able and comfortable providing input. So as they're there and they're spending time, really getting people to be able to write down those comments, talk with you, making sure they're taking the survey if they want to. That really helps us get through, when we get into recommended alternative that'll be more publicly supported.
Justin, will we have a city laptop there to where we can demonstrate how people can sign in to view the progress of the Heights plan, or to put their email address while they're at the meeting or while they're coming in?
Yeah, let me look at it. We're going to have a laptop. It's going to be used to run a video presentation. Let me see if we can have something to have people log in if they want to sign up there, have them sign up on scene.
We'll likely have places for people to write in their email.
Yeah, that too.
And we enter it in for them.
Yeah, we'll have sign-in sheets for everybody coming in.
Yeah, the QR codes will bring you right to that are available on the postcards. All you need is your smartphone. It'll take you right to the point, or right to the point where you can sign up and get news contact. So that will be there. And we'll have some postcards too that I spent the last 2 days on 12th and 13th going business to business, trying to do that old fashioned first person one-on-one discussion to ensure that a lot of the businesses on 12th and 13th, as many as I could get that were open while I was walking, had awareness of the circumstance. I handed out a lot of cards, asked them, a lot of people, if they knew people that were there, to hand out those cards. So I do have some leftovers that we can help people direct just by use of their cell phone to sign up for not only information on the Heights, but whatever information is coming along. So we'll have some open opportunities to get people signed up.
Tonight is just kind of a preparation for our Friday and Saturday.
Mhm.
So are there other questions or things that we should be thinking about?
Yeah, you have your early invite. We'll do another once over of the FAQs and some of the roll plots. It'll give you another opportunity as you think through this again to meet Alex and Nathan in the flesh. And, again, for those things that you've heard, common questions, common themes, we'll be happy to fill you in there. I'm going to see if I can drum up some budget to get you some name tags so you look real official. I was told that you could not have badges. So I was going for name tags. So you won't be deputized, but you'll be identified. And yeah, I'll be there between 3 and 4. We'll all be there afternoon setting up the facility. So please come early if you can. We'll give you some individual time. Again, based on what you've heard, what you're hearing, early questions. We tried to do the typical FAQs that provided you the most obvious questions. And I think Alex had sorry, I was a little late. I think Alex had some facilitation pointers for you on how to, this is not an advocacy position. It's more, we need you to just get people to talk, let them know, be a facilitator, have them be heard. And that's what we're trying to do too. So.
I know parking is limited in the Heights as well as at the Armory. If anybody would like, you're welcome to park at my parking lot.
Thank you.
What's that?
Is there meters in your place?
Not yet.
Jack hasn't got them on.
Well, we may sign it for overflow parking if you don't mind with that offer.
I'm looking forward to this weekend, and I hope we have great attendance from the public, because that's where we get our direction from the public. So I
think.
Go ahead.
I think we've done as much as we can to get the word out through radio, social media, print, survey. It's definitely visible. So I'm hoping that we'll have a good turnout, and food and drink definitely helps that too. It should attract a large number of folks, hopefully.
Justin, do you have any extra on you tonight?
I do. If you have some reliable people.
We may have some last minute stops to make tomorrow to try and share with a few more people in the neighborhood. So thank you.
Yeah, as far as the communication plan, we have been on every available media site that is accessible here in the Gorge, short of a local public access television. We've been on the radio, both Radio Tierra. We were on the radio with Mark Bailey. We've hit the social media, all the feeds. I see it echoing throughout our partner feeds. We've had analog media, we have posters, we have postcards. We've been out there on foot talking to people. I can't imagine a more. We went to church. I mean, there's really no. I don't see an area or opportunity that we've missed to try to engage people and just let them know that there's an opportunity, a really important opportunity coming up to participate here. So, but it's really more effective. The more people that continue to echo it. Yeah, the echo. Let the echo happen. So.
I will grab one of your posts and share it with my 13 followers.
We did not leave any cards with your place of business. I didn't know if that was really the right venue, but we'd be happy to give you some postcards if need be.
Anything else?
No, the only item on the agenda.
Sorry, what? Anything?
I just hope we have a good turnout.
I think we will. Others will so too. And it's Earth Day tomorrow.
Yeah, we were looking for mediocre weather. really nice weather is a detractor, really terrible weather is a detractor. It gives people the opportunity. We want them to be out. We don't want them to be have too much wanderlust because of nice weather. So somewhere in the medium of mediocre weather is what our hope for is. And I think given spring, we could have all those items. So we'll be there early. Yeah, so please come. You have the invite. You know the location. It's the
And
Armory.
there was I guess items from the members. There was an email that went around the Heights, and I invited everybody on that email to join us at our meeting here, but to join us Friday and Saturday as well. I also shared the survey that you've received none back. But I think just getting it out there, that way everybody's voices are heard, and that way there's not maybe just a random picture taking down your hair salon for your business. I mean, out there on somebody's social media, because there have been no decisions made. This meeting is to help us make suggestions. What's that? I think maybe after the meeting, one of us can kind of, if you want to drive on your phone, we can take you to the City of Hood River website and show you the link for the urban renewal. You're in the epicenter of this. Not for lack of effort. I mean, and I know Dave and Carrie across the street, and I've talked to them, kind of, and we've, I've even walked up and down 12th and 13th in the beginning, counting telephone poles and power poles and trying to go in and just introduce myself. And I had no idea that I looked like a, I don't know, solicitor. I mean, took a while for people even to open up to me. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to make sure you're aware of this. We tried to create a Heights email distribution list a couple of years ago to revitalize the Heights Business Association for that 12th and 13th corridor. It is very difficult to kind of disseminate this information to every individual. But I'm glad you're here tonight.
I'm glad that we can all communicate together and figure out how to reach more of the people that have a vested interest. So we really appreciate you helping that as well. That we can all be on the same page as far as these open house events and future opportunities to contribute input. So yeah, again, I hope that wasn't eye-opener for you, but hopefully that just sort of helps bring in more people to learn about the Heights Urban Renewal.
If I'm not mistaken, in the 11 years, or what is it? It was in 11 that this was started. Yeah, October. This was the 4th or 5th open house we've had.
We've had a few.
We've had a few. So we've been, and I've walked a lot of the 12th and 13th businesses and have talked to people about it over the last 5-6 years. And, some people just don't hear about it.
It's never too late to engage more people.
I think that's it. If there's nothing else.
I move we adjourn.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.
See you all tomorrow.
Thanks all. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being here.